Hello everyone and welcome to the video. So in this program we will be going over reading strings from a file using the C programming language. And as always, as I go through the code, I will try my best to bring to light a number of the key ideas that I see used throughout this program. But before we get into the program, I just wanted to come out here and say that moving forward, I plan on introducing a new series onto this channel where I try and compile a number of questions that you guys may have and sit down and basically have a discussion with you guys. So I recognize that a lot of the people that watch my videos want to get into the computer science space or want to learn how to program. And personally for me, I came from an engineering background, so not necessarily computer science. So I was able to make that transition from mechanical engineering into computer science, where now I actually work for a tech company. So I think it will be very beneficial for me to be able to share a number of my experiences and be able to answer some of the questions that you guys may have when it comes to making that transition from a non-computer science background to a computer science background. You know, some of the things that I did on a daily basis to basically hone in my programming skills or hone in my my technical skills when it comes to computer science and be able to actually land a job in the computer science space or the tech space. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider leaving a like and commenting down below a number of your questions. So what I plan on doing is I will just wait, and once I get a number of questions, I will just compile them, sit down and have a discussion with you guys, basically sharing a number of my experiences as a whole. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, please consider, like I said, leaving a comment or liking the video or just shooting me a message, and I'll be sure to compile all those questions and make a video about it. But without further ado, this will be a regular coding video, so please enjoy the video. And yeah yeah, that's it. So I would love to have a face cam for these kinds of videos, but because it can get so technical, I find myself having to prepare a script. If I don't do that, the video will not be as organized and I run the risk of making a lot of mistakes. Even with the scripts that I prepare, I tend to make a lot of mistakes, so that is why my face is not shown. It allows me to focus on the technical content and deliver it to you guys to the best of my ability. But with the videos where I sit down and speak with you, it will be more of a conversational type video, so it would not require me to prepare a script. So it will more so be me sitting down having a conversation with you, which I am definitely looking forward to. As you can see, we have declared 3 variables, 2 character arrays and an integer variable. The purpose of the code is to read values from a file and print it out. Fortunately, we know what each line in the file will look like, so it is very easy to create variables that would allow us to completely store each item accordingly and then print it out. Sometimes it is more difficult if you do not know what a line in the file will look like. In that situation, you really cannot create variables before reading a line from the code, so keep that in mind. We are only able to declare variables because we know what we are expecting from each line in the file. We will maybe cover how to handle those other situations where you don't know what the file looks like in the future. But nonetheless, the next thing that we have is this piece of code that validates the existence of the file. So in the case that the file doesn't exist, we would certainly want to know that. And a way to validate that the file exists is to use the fopen function. So the fopen function should return a pointer to the file if it is successful in locating the file on your computer. If it does not, then we know we have a problem, and we went ahead and declared a little print out message telling us that the file cannot be found. So as long as this printf is being executed, then we know that the file has not been found on our computer. By the way, I covered files in the previous video, so if you want to know more about the intricacies of the fopen function as well as the fscanf function, I will link that video down in the description below, so please feel free to check it out if you need more information on those types of functions. But the final thing that I wanted to touch on is reading the values from the file using the fscanf function. So like I mentioned, because we know what the format of the file is, It allows us to specify what we will be expecting to read from each line of the text file. So from each line in the file, we expect to read a string value, a space, another string value, and then finally an integer value. So counting that is a total of 3 values we expect to read from the fscanf function every single time that the fscanf function executes. So that is why we have the condition of the while loop set the way that it is. So basically speaking, as long as the fscanf function is able to read 3 items as it is executed, then we can keep going and keep on reading each line inside of the file. In a situation where the statement becomes false, or 3 items are not read from the file, then we know that we have either hit the end of the file or a problem has occurred. So just note that the 3 is there basically as a means to check that we are able to read 3 values from each line inside of the file, right? A situation where this will not be the case is if we reach the end of the file. If we reach the end of the file, there is no way we will be able to read 3 values on at the end of the file. So that will tell us that, okay, we are done reading values from this file, and then the while loop will terminate because the value that the fscanf function will return will not be 3. So if you also want to know more about how to use the output of the fscanf function to validate a number of things, basically using the output of functions to validate the process in which you are trying to conduct, then also check out the video that I made on the input validation. In that video, I used the output of the scanf function to validate input coming into the program. So check it out if you are interested. But yeah, the last thing that we do in this program is close the file pointer and then print out a nice exiting message to the user, letting them know that, okay, we are done reading everything from the file and then we have reached the end of the file. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Please don't forget to leave your questions if you have them, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks and bye.